All right, shalom, shalom. It's Brother Yakarada, Lionsden Camp, down here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm about to make this quick video. But before I do, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father in the Paleo Hebrew by saying, Kal, Alayim, La Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Hawakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of GMS who roll well, and double honors to my elder, Harwan, of the Lionsden Camp, and shalom to my brother and all the Akim that's out there pushing the word in all truth and sincerity. Okay, it's July 4th of July 2025. Okay, and I was reading up on an app called Newsbreak, and I saw a video, or not a video, so like I saw a story come up on the feed, and it was talking about a mass deletion at a concert where a certain artist named Mello Buckzz, that's Mellobuckzz, okay, Mello Buckzz was the performer. And so there was some pow that happened, all right, and several were deleted, several injured. Okay, this again is a mass sacrificial type of deletion that took place here. Okay, and it's pretty blatant, pretty simple to see. So give you a little bit of backstory about this Mello Buckzz person. Okay, scum, straight demon. If you can call what she's doing art, okay, if it is even a she, all right, if you can call what they're doing art, they're an up and coming artist, and they rap. Okay, no surprise there. And if you look at some of her videos, I was able to come across like 4 real quick. I think the one that was shown in 2023, this was maybe one of her first songs that hit big. I don't know, because I didn't do enough research. I really wasn't trying to do a whole lot of research on her. But it's pretty simple to find these things when you look up these folks who are trying to be out there. Okay. The song was called Boom. I think it was Boom Part 1. And she's talking about a Mouseketeer. All right. And we've all heard of the Mouseketeers, you know what I'm saying, that children's show or children's set by Disney. All right, starring Mickey Mouse. So she called her, or the hook to the song, she's talking about a Mouseketeer, and we all know what that tool is, all right, that she's talking about. She got her Mouseketeers with her, okay? Rapping about, again, this was 2023, so she's talking about ops. That's when the ops got real big. I was actually thinking about this the other day, man. That's when the ops thing got real big. 2022, 2023, everything was about the ops. So she's talking about that she got the tool for her ops, and she got her girls riding with her, through these streets. She's taking a BITC's, dude, okay, and she's gonna beat the chick and choke him out and all sorts of nonsense, right there. Real aggressive, real just straight aggressive. I mean, that seems to be the thing now. Okay, these chicks are out here trying to catch, more wasps, okay, with vinegar. That whole catching, flies with honey and all that stuff. No. They trying to catch some wasps, some straight hornets out here. They slinging vinegar, okay, and straight hatred. Real angry. But she's young. She's 24. A millennial, or maybe a zillennial. I don't know what they call them now. 2001. They said was her birthday. Man, gotta making her parents proud, I'm sure, with this nonsense, man. So I'm gonna have some pictures that I put together, and hopefully I'm able to put them in an image for this cover right here. But Mello Buckzz had a concert within the last few days, and some people got deleted. Some people got deleted. Some people got injured. And the numbers that they used were 4 and 14. See, that's how you know this is a mass sacrificial deletion, okay? That was put in play by her handlers and her overseers, because they specifically used these numbers in the article, okay? Again, you have people in high places, okay, with power on this side, these principalities who control certain aspects of what we see and what we hear, what we read, okay? And they chose these particular numbers, 4 and 14. Why? Because it's a signal. It puts it out there that, hey, this was a sacrificial deletion to elevate this person to a certain status within this society, within this wicked world, okay? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, like it says in Job chapter 9, verse 24. So in order to make it in this society, to really make it, wickedness has to be done, okay? Because they're in the power. They're the ones who give power, okay? And allow, those to have certain power. And what equals power in this society? Okay, a lot of times it's money and status. Okay, so they are the ones who give the money and the status, allow certain people to have it. And in order for these people to get it, they got to sacrifice some things, okay, on this side. One of the ones who was deleted in this mass sacrificial deletion was Mello Buckz's boyfriend, okay? So she greenlit this thing, okay? She professed her allegiance to certain people, and when she did that, it was greenlit. Okay, this is what's going to happen. This is who's got to get taken out, okay? So this mass sacrificial deletion wasn't just a coincidence at her concert, okay? It was set up this way because, again, she professed her allegiance to a system, okay, run by the beast and his elite or its elite minions, okay, all operating under Hasatan. All right, and understand this before I go any further. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is in control, okay? Yahweh is in control of all this, but he understands and balances these things, okay? So you have agents on the left side, okay, and agents on the right side. All right, it's probably switched for the camera view, but anyway, it's got agents acting on the left hand side and agents acting on the right hand side to bring about his will, okay? But the powers that be greenlit this thing, and they said, all right, one of the ones who's got to be taken out is her boyfriend, because most times in these mass sacrificial deletions, or if they're just small sacrificial deletions, someone that the person loves has to take an L. It could be a sister, it could be a brother, it could be a boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, all right, the little ones, okay? Somebody's got to take an L, okay? A good example I'll give you is Jennifer Hudson, all right? If anybody can go back, I think it's within 10 years, within 10 or 11 years. It might be a little bit more than that at this point. I don't think it was before 2012 though, but when Jennifer Hudson, before she struck it real big, she had a few things going on, but before she struck it real big, she had a sacrificial deletion, okay? Where a couple of her family members got taken out, all right? And they got some guy, put him in jail. It was a fall guy, all right? If he even sat there for long, you know what I'm saying? Once that happened and all went down, the story kind of just vanished, okay? It was a story for 6 months, maybe a year at most, and then it just went away. Everybody just forgot all about her sacrificial deletion that happened. Now she's a big star, okay? But yeah, somebody's always taking it. I can go on and on about that, but this right here is about Mello Buckzz. The numbers that they used were 4 deleted, 14 injured. What's 14 plus 4? 18. Okay? And 18 will get used a lot in these, type of rituals. They use that number all the time. Why? Because 18 is a clear, um, just a clear number that says 6 plus 6 plus 6, man. So it's 3 sixes. All right. Those 3 sixes. Okay. And so we know that, 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. So they use that number strategically to show others within the wicked circle that they operate in, hey, she's now one of us. Okay. I went back and watched the video. Again, this was probably like one of the first videos that this chick put out, but she got the checkerboard background. Okay, the background facade was a checkerboard. Okay, or the black and white. All right, showing the duality there. Okay, and the duality, once you break it down, really and truly, it just means the confusion. Okay, so she's fitting into the confusion model. Okay, the Babylon model, the Babel, the Babal. She's fitting into that model, that mold. She's being molded into a figure. All right, an idol, if you will, of Babal. Okay, and she's made the she's pledged her allegiance, made the sacrifice. Okay, had to do any number of wicked things, and now she's now she's up and coming. And with this that just happened, you're going to hear a lot more of her. Now it could go two ways. Okay, she could fall off and be utterly destroyed. Okay, if it be Yahweh's will. All right, Yahweh Ratazah. If it be his will, she could, be deleted herself, man. He could just choose to take her out and she fall off. Okay. Or she may very well be elevated within this system. Okay. Based on what just happened, she's going to be elevated to some degree. How high, we don't know. But she's going to be elevated even more to some degree. Okay. Again, unless Yahweh's will is to take her out, she might raise up a little bit and then get dealt with very quickly, or she might rise up, have a little 2 minutes of fame, okay, but what does she have to give up for it? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. And again, the folks that got deleted, hey, who knows what they were into? Could have been completely and utterly wicked, all right, but ultimately it's mercy, because what's coming on this side is about to get, it's about to get pretty bad. So ultimately, it's mercy for what I'm saying, for real, and for any Japes, Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans that caught up in that, that got caught up in that. Yeah, it's mercy, you know. But let me just stick to this thing on Mello Buckzz right here. Again, Lord willing, somebody's edified, as always with these videos. But yeah, 4 plus 4, 18, man. Clear, just a clear, just looking for a word, man. But just explanation, I guess you could say. But yeah, just it shows very clear that this was a mass sacrificial deletion, man. 18, the whole 6 plus 6 plus 6. You see it all the time. But I'm gonna go to the scriptures right here and jump in Deuteronomy chapter 18, okay? And I'm gonna start at verse 10. All right, because we're gonna run down the line of some of the things and what's going on, right now. It says, "There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, okay, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch." All right, so this is Yahweh's words being spoken through the prophet Moses, okay, and he's speaking to the children of Israel. This is directly to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the children of Israel, okay, according to the Bible. All right, your so-called blacks, Negroes, Afro Americans, African Americans, your Latinos, all right, so-called Latinos, Tainos, Ladinos, Boricuans, all right, so-called Mexicans, all right, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, all right, those of Uruguay, all right, Paraguay, uh, Colombia, okay. This is who these words were being spoken to, okay. So they're called so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans on this side, but in ancient times they fell into a tribe, okay. Levi, uh, you know, Judah, Benjamin, all right, Ashar, all right, the you know, half tribe of Joseph, Ephraim and Manasseh, okay, Zebulun, Naphtali, okay. So these names that we have today are bywords, okay. But going back to ancient times, we fell into tribes, all right, and these 12 tribes made up the children of Israel, okay. Uh, but anyway, it says, "There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire." Okay, so we're not supposed to get caught up in human sacrifice. Okay, in short, we're not supposed to be involved in human sacrifice. All right, making our sons, daughters, uh, uh, you know, cousins, uncles, aunties, sisters, brothers, mother, father, okay, making them to be a sacrifice, okay, our brothers and our sisters, okay. If you call yourself dating someone or liking someone or courting someone, okay, that person, until you're joined in marriage, okay, that person is considered your sister, your brother, your neighbor, okay, if they're Israelite, okay. And you're not supposed to make them to pass through the fire. You're not supposed to sacrifice them, okay, for any reason, okay, in the name of other gods or for gain. All right, there should be no reason that it happens, okay. So there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh, all right, that does this, that makes this happen or allows this to happen, gives the green light. In other words, you're making it happen. You're complicit in it taking place. You're not supposed to do that, okay. You're not supposed to be the catalyst behind these types of things. All right. That's not supposed to be found among our people. Okay. But unfortunately, you have these situations like what just happened at Mello Buckzz concert. So we see that it's happening among Israel. And this is why the Most High is dealing with Israel the way he's dealing with us and the way he's dealt with us in past times. Verse 11, or a charmer or a consulter with familiar spirits or a wizard or a necromancer. Okay, so we're not supposed to be consorting with the like. Okay, if somebody is in that industry, that wicked ass industry that I talk about and other Akim in their videos talk about it so much. Okay, you're not supposed to talking about these rappers. They're not supposed to be consorting with those who are into these things. Okay, because why? They'll lead them down the same path. Okay, the Jackson Five, Michael Jackson and his brothers. Okay, fell into consorting with Berry Gordy. Okay, and Berry Gordy was consorting with Quincy Jones. All right, and these guys are high level wicked men. Okay, they were quote pillars in their community, but they were involved with a lot of wickedness. Why? Because they were given their power and authority by the so-called WHITE man. Okay, Esau. Okay, who called themselves a certain ish. All right, a certain you-ish people, okay, small hat wearers, who were really just Amalek, all right, descendants of Esau, and that's who gave Quincy Jones and Berry Gordy their power. All right, and so then they had to pass certain individuals through the fire. All right, and those certain individuals were the Jackson Five. Okay, and you know, there's so many of them. You have, what is it, nine of them jokers. All right, then you have Marvin Gaye. Okay, you see what happened to him. All right, familial ties caused the deletion in that scenario. Okay, Hasatan, man, Hasatan crept in, you know, and got all these guys, man. All right, all of them faced faced severe trauma based on their experiences within that music group. Okay, the Motown music group. Why? Because it began upon wickedness. Okay, so this is a wicked game that these folks are playing, and it's a you know, it's a dangerous game that they're playing, consorting with these wizards. Okay, who trust and believe in that satanic system. Okay, that measures success with how much wickedness and sacrifice is taking place. All right, the Temptations. Okay, went through traumatic events. All right, one of their members, you know, unalived itself with the pow pow. Okay, so again, the you know, the list can go on and on, man. Eminem, all right, gave the green light for his homeboy, Proof, if you want to call them. They were homeboys. I ain't gonna say if you can call them that. They were homeboys. You know what I'm saying? You got Esau and Jake all the time. That you know, that be homies. You know what I'm saying? Grew up together. It is what it is, right? But you know, Esau don't have no loyalties. You know, and in that wicked game, there's really no loyalties. So Eminem had, you know, he gave the green light to have Proof unalived. Okay, allegedly. You know, they say there's no honor among thieves, man. There's no honor among rappers. You know, it is what it is, man. These guys will get the green light. Look, in a minute, because they're not going back to that life that they had, where they felt like they were bums and losers, and so on and so forth. They'd rather consort with wizards and witches, all right, necromancers, enchanters, all of that. They'd rather consort with all of that rather than go back and consort with who they deem to be bums and losers, okay, back home. So yeah, they'll sacrifice friends, family, okay, whatever it takes to keep their elevated status in this society. Kanye West, okay, sacrificed his mother, all right, allegedly. Said it was a crappy deal. Okay, but at least it came with a few tricks, you know, a few toys like a Happy Meal. Okay, but he passed his mother through the fire. All right, and it tears him up. It tears him up inside. But this is what they have to do. Okay, these are the things that they have to do in order their to keep their VIP. All right, membership within that wicked ass game that they're playing, man. All right. And it says, for all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahweh. And because of these abominations, the Lord, all right, Yahweh thy power, doth drive them out before thee. So he drove these wicked heathen nations out from before us because they did these wicked things. But then what did Israel do? So they went and did it anyway. Okay? Do these things anyway. And Mello Buckzz is no different. She's playing the same game. It's been played for decades now. It's been played for decades. Getting close to a century. All right, getting close to 100 years of this game being played, specifically in music, uh, getting close to a century, and she's falling right in line. See, nothing has changed. See, people that P. Diddy went to jail, R. Kelly went to jail, but we see ain't nothing changed. The music industry is still rolling on. It's still going to go. It's still business as usual. Okay. You think a couple of cats, you think because R. Kelly got locked up and because Diddy got locked up, all right, that cats aren't still having parties. Cats aren't still throwing parties. Okay. Everybody know about Ellen. Ellen be throwing in parties. Ellen DeGeneres, she be throwing in parties allegedly. Okay. Jamie Foxx was throwing some parties. I don't know if he's still partying. That's hard, but he was throwing parties. Okay. It came out that these guys they make a show of who can have the biggest party. All right. So guess what? If it's a contest, all right, and Diddy had 1,000 bottles, then how many bottles do you think are in circulation for real at these other parties? It could be more or less. It's still a large number because they're in competition with each other. It wasn't just he had 1,000 bottles. Somebody else probably had 900. Somebody else probably had 1,100. They're all about showing each other up. Okay, LeBron, he probably look. I don't know how many parties he's having, but he probably got a stash of baby oil himself, man. Allegedly, right? So anyway, we're gonna keep this about Mello Buckzz, man. We're talking about all of them. We're talking about all of them because they're all wicked as hell, and they're all gonna catch L's. All right, lest they repent. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh. It says, verse 13. Again, we're in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 13. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord Yahweh thy power, for these nations which thou shalt possess hearken unto observers of time. See, these other nations have done it. They did it. All right. And they call hell because of it. It says, for these nations which thou shalt possess hearkened unto observers of time. See, we possessed them. We took them as a possession. We took their lands, okay, spoiled them. And the Lord did that, okay? Yahweh did that and gave them over to us, allowed us to delete them, all right, and take their possessions, their land, because they were wicked, all right? And he was driving wickedness out of these places, okay, in order to give us this possession. So he said, but when you come into that land, okay, there's going to be remnants of those things that you hear and that you see, okay? And if you're not careful, Hasatan is going to sift you by way of these things, okay? He says, for these nations which thou possess, hearkened unto observers of times and unto diviners, okay? Observers of times, diviners, tarot readers, witches, warlocks, people who deal in numerology and all this other stuff, okay? And you gotta sacrifice this many people at this certain time on this date. And if you do that, fame and fortune is gonna fall like rain, blah blah blah. See, they gotta have rain songs. I can get into it, man. They have all of them got a rain song. All these artists come out with a rain song at some time. Rain on Me. Ashanti had Rain on Me, SWV. The rain. What was that joint, man? They had something to rain. Sometimes it's soft as the. Sometimes it's soft as the something rain. I don't know, man. Right? Kirk Franklin even had a song talking about the rain. Okay, melodies from heaven rain down on me. Okay, they always got to talk about the rain because that's giving reverence to the Rain Man. Okay. All right. And all that nonsense, man. Okay. So we're not supposed to hearken unto these things, man. Hearken unto these people who deal in that nonsense, man. Okay. Because all it does is lead you to damnation. All right. Consulting with these witches and warlocks. All right. And I'm gonna jump to Jeremiah. Okay, again, we talk about Mello Buckzz, man. Mello Buckzz. She's an up and coming so-called artist, man. She's seeking her 2 minutes of fame and glory in this wicked ass, crumbling society, all right, that's about to be smashed to bits. It's crumbling around us as we speak, and people still want to make it. People still want to secure some sort of bag in this wicked society that is crumbling. Okay, I mean, America is hanging on by a string. All right, the bishop brought it out last week. America is hanging on by a string, by a thread. Okay, we saw this American flag. The damn flag was literally hanging on, tethered by a string, and he was like, "That's you know, that's a great representation right there of what it really is, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. I will put it right there in our face, man, to make the scriptures really stand out in truth, man, and power. Okay, America's hanging on by a thread, and you're willing to do this type of wickedness that the scriptures clearly tell us we're not supposed to do for 2 minutes of fame and glory in this wicked ass society that's hanging on by a string as it is. Come on, man. That's the loser. They talking about not going back. See, they don't want to go back to being a loser, a nobody. But that's being a loser and a nobody. Trying to post up yourself and prop yourself up in a crumbling society that's about to be done away with. And they're going to be done away right along with it for doing such wickedness. This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 23. It says, "But this people have the revolting and the rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone." See, these people are rebellious, man. Mello Buckzz, rebellious as hell. You can see it. Again, when I post up the picture, you'll see this. She a rebellious and revolting, man. She was revolting, you know? All right? She's revolted, all right, against the words of the Lord. She never knew him to begin with, most likely. All right, but definitely rebellious heart, man. You're gonna be able to see it. It's written over her face and her like, man. The birds that flock with her. Okay, and if you look it up, you'll be able to sell it too, man. Demon. Verse 24. "Neither say they in their heart." She never said it in her heart. A lot of these 2/3 so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, man. 2/3 of them are going to be taken out, man. All right, burnt with the fire. All right, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the scriptures. But they don't say in their heart, "Let us now fear the Lord Yahweh our power." Okay, this is verse 24. "Neither say in their heart, Let us now fear the Lord Yahweh our power, that giveth rain." Okay, they singing songs to the rain man. They're not fearing the Lord Yahweh. Okay, they fear this system. They fear those who say we can take your money. Okay, we can take your fame. All right. They don't fear the Lord Yahweh. Okay, who can take both their life and eternal life, their salvation. All right. It says, "Neither say they in their heart, Let us now fear the Lord our power, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter, in his season. He reserveth us, it's like he reserveth unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest." Verse 25. "Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sin have withholden good things from you." See, if we were to observe the Lord Yahweh, our power, and determine in our hearts to do the things that he has said for us to do, then we would see good things. Okay, it's not about the big mega bucks. Okay, though he can give us those things. Okay, he's given us examples in the past of those things that he's given. We have several examples of that. Okay, but the goodly things are what? Righteousness, wisdom, and salvation. Okay, ultimately for our nation. Okay, righteousness, wisdom, and salvation. All right, and the kingdom. Okay, the eternal kingdom to come that's going to be ruled in righteousness. Okay, Lord willing, I'm a part of that, and the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect, are going to be rulers in that land. Okay, that's going to be ultimately ruled by Yahweh Shai, and the Heavenly Father. Okay, the laws and the laws are going to be written on our hearts. Okay, and people are not going to study wickedness and sin anymore. Okay, those things are going to be done away with. That's what's coming. Okay, that's what's coming. That's ultimate riches. Ultimate riches. It's not even going to be a question. Okay, as far as riches, gold, glory. Okay, the other nations are going to come and give these things as gifts. Okay, you know these dummies, man. You know, Mello Buckzz, all these other artists, they're worried about getting that on this side. Okay, and they still got to work and struggle for it, and gotta work and struggle for it, and sacrifice family members allegedly, okay, and loved ones to Babal, all right, to Babalion, this wicked ass kingdom. When in the kingdom to come, okay, if you just do righteousness, all right, repent and give reverence to Yahweh Shem Al Shai, you would have these things in the kingdom and not have to sacrifice to Babalion. Okay, Babalion is going to be the sacrifice. Okay, this wicked ass kingdom is going to be a sacrifice. All right, but they don't have it. Why? Because verse 24, like it says, neither say they in the heart, let us now fear the Lord, our power. Okay, they don't say it. They don't say that. They have no mention of that on their lips. Okay, verse 25 again, your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. All right, so they worried about going back to be a bum. Well, listen, why are you so afraid of going back to be a bum? Because you're wicked as hell, okay? And you know that no good is going to come to you because you're just going to continue to do wickedness instead of repenting and calling on the Lord Yahweh. All right, verse 26, for among my people are found wicked men and wicked women. Says they lay wait as he that setteth snares, okay? They set a trap, they catch men. All right, so a lot of times, you know, Mello Buckzz, Diddy, Kelly, anybody that's in this game, listen, they were bought in by somebody else, you know, who set up a snare and a trap for them, you know. Mello Buckzz was just a little girl at some point, man, just like any other little girl, you know what I'm saying? Probably wanted to be a doctor or a veterinarian. Hell, maybe even a firefighter or something, man, who knows, right? But somebody set up a trap and a snare for her, all right, and brought her in, all right? Esau didn't come knocking on her door and say, hey, listen, we want you to be a wicked idol for your people, okay? No, it was some, you know, wicked ass devil amongst the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans who took her in the studio and said, hey, man, I like what you're talking about, man. I like what you're talking about. You got them, yo, your flow is on point. All right, bars. They put a beat on and she starts talking about this, that, and the third, how she's going to hurt this person, hurt that person, you know, because that's all these so-called Negroes, Latinos talk about, man. All right, when they get to rapping and stuff, how they going to hurt their brother, how they're going to hurt their sister. It's never about how they want to do the so-called WHITE man who comes in their communities, gentrifies, okay, has done, you know, utter wickedness and poisoned the water system, the air, everything around them, put them into projects, you know what I'm saying, done all sorts of shit, locked up fathers, you know, brothers, done all this. It's never about hurting them or saying anything, you know, derogatory towards them. Not saying, let me put this out. It's not gonna, you know, don't go out and do that. Right? Let me put that in this video. Don't go out and do that against the so-called WHITE man. Right? But it's never about that with these clowns, man. All right, with these cowards. They always want to talk about doing it to their brother, hurting their brother. The ops. The ops is always somebody that looks like them because they hate their self. All right, they hate their self. They don't see power. They don't see kingdoms and rulers within themselves. Okay, they see bums, losers, and the stereotypes that others have put on them when they look in the mirror. And when they look at their brother and their sister, it's like looking in the mirror. So they hate what they see. All right. That's why they pow each other. That's why they pow themselves. All right. And the cycle continues. All right. Because there's no fear of the Lord amongst these people, man. There's no fear of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. Among these people. Okay. That would be the beginning of wisdom. All right. Causing them to seek out knowledge of self. Okay. Knowledge of who they are and who their people are as a nation. Okay, but they don't have any fear of the Lord. They don't even have the beginning steps to take in order to stop this vicious cycle that continues to happen, man. All right, in the communities. Verse 27. As the cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Okay, therefore they are become great and waxen rich. Okay. They are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. All right. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore, they are become great and waxing rich. On this side, if your house is full of deceit, wickedness, and sin, on this side, okay, you'll become great. You'll wax rich, fat. Okay, you play the game, all right, of wickedness within this society. So like, yeah, you play the game of wickedness, deceit, and sin in this society, you'll do great things. You know, on this side, you listen. You do your 4 years of understudy, your college, all right, where most people go to learn lies and play the whore, all right. Join up with a Greek fraternity or sorority. Okay, follow after the Greeks. All right. Then go on. All right. To don't go on to build a talking about so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Don't go on to build a family from that point. Okay, and when you're still young and in your youth, as the scriptures tell us to do. Okay, no, they want to go and for the next 10 years commit more acts of whoredom. Okay, get further deepened into this system, this wicked ass system. All right, take on debt. All right, commit more sin and more whoredom. All right, play the game. All right, wax fat and rich, secure the bag, go after the bag, don't go after the Lord. Okay, taking more lies year after year after year, going to these wicked ass churches. Okay, that aren't teaching our people a damn thing. All right, teaching more lies to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay, consume more abominable foods. And then teach these things when you do 10 years after your whoredom, your college years. Okay, 10 years after that, when you finally do have children, you teach them those same traditions, okay, and same rituals, causing your children to pass through the fire. All right, sacrificing them to the system of rebellion. Okay. Don't teach them any truth. Don't teach them about the so-called WHITE man, who he really is. All right, teach your children that he's a friend and that we can all just get along. All right. Don't teach your children that he's our enemy. All right, he's got it out for us. Okay, and they should treat him as such. Just teach them more lies. All right. Have them worshiping Jesus Christos. All right, that looks like a damn hippie. All right, with a toga on. All right, Goldilocks and somebody. Okay, scripture says, as long as you do that, listen, you'll get rich. You'll get rich in this society. It says, they are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. Okay? Our people don't just join a fraternity. They join Q dogs. Gotta make a show of it, go out, stomp the yard, you know. Every time you turn around, you gotta every time you turn around, you got a damn Q dog stepping somewhere. You damn 70 years old with a walker trying to step. With a hat, a feather fedora hat and shit, man. 60 years old out here trying to step with it on, you know, in the line, in the queue line, man. Come on, man. Stop it. You know, you've taken the Greek thing, the Greco-Roman, you know, fraternal order and shit to a whole new level of wickedness, man. Just nonsense. You know, paying your dues so you can go to a surf and turf gala where you're just going to consume a bunch of abominations, then get up and step and slide at the end of it and go home and do it all again the following year, man. Wicked, utter wickedness and nonsense. All right. They judge, yeah, man. They are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. All right. You don't just gotta become a music mogul, Diddy. You gotta throw a lavish parties. Okay. Ellen DeGeneres is hyping your party up. She's a damn troglodyte devil. Okay. But she's gonna hype your party up. You surpassed even her wicked sodomitish deeds. Come on, man. Can't make this stuff up. The scriptures say it right here. They overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause, all right, not making any righteous judgments, the cause of the fatherless, okay? No, Diddy don't want to judge the fatherless. He wants to bring the fatherless in, okay? Bring in Biebers and Ushers, all right? He's not going to judge their cause. He's going to bring them in and have them do the same thing, allegedly. Okay? Yet they prosper, and the right of the needy do they judge not. Shall I not visit for these things, saith Yahweh? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? Okay, so he had to avenge his, and still is avenging his soul, okay, on the wicked, all right, of the nation of Israel. It says a wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. Okay, a wonderful, amazing things are committed in the land. Okay, things that should have never been done amongst our people have been done and continue to be done. Obviously, Mello Buckzz greenlighting such wicked acts, and whether you greenlit it or not, all right, you were complicit. You're complicit in it. All right, because you've pledged your allegiance. All right, you pledged your allegiance with your mouse tools. You pledged your allegiance, and now you got 18 people, 666 people that have suffered injury from the pow pow. All right, it says this is verse 31. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. Says the priests, they bear rule by their means. Okay, the prophets prophesy falsely. Joel Osteen, TD Snakes, okay, Creflo, all right, the Reverend, I guess he's Reverend now, Tyler Perry, okay, the Reverend Medea. You know, prophets prophesying falsely. Priests bearing rule by their means. Okay, not by the means of the Lord, not by the will of Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah, the only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Okay, these priests are bearing rule by whatever means fits them. Jesus Cristo, uh, you know, uh, Vash